Hello YouTube and welcome again to another episode of Slotted In There. After covering the emulation of the MSX, I thought I'd advise on my top 10 games for that system. And if you followed that emulation video and wanted some top tips on some good games, I don't think you'll be disappointed with these. So as Chris would say, grab yourself a brew and I'll bring some retro gaming to you. Designed in 1980 by Toru Iwatani, Pac-Man is a yellow disc with a mouth, doomed to eternally munch dots whilst being chased by four ghosts who clearly have unresolved issues. Bonus points for fruit randomly appearing mid-maze like a snack-based hallucination. And if you eat a power pellet, you flip the script and chase the ghosts like a caffeinated toddler in a haunted house. Pac-Man didn't just become a game, it became a cultural icon, a metaphor for stress eating and proof that sometimes all you need to be a hero is a mouth and a mission. Here's a fun fact, Pac-Man was originally called PAC-Man, but arcade owners feared that vandals would turn the P into an F. Nice. Released in 1982, this is what happens when you mix lunar exploration with a monster truck rally and sprinkle in some UFO paranoia. Driving a suspiciously cheerful looking buggy across a landscape that's 90% potholes and 10% alien aggression. Moon Patrol is basically the moon's version of a bad commute, endless hazards, questionable infrastructure, and aliens who forgot how to mind their own business. But hey, at least your buggy's got bounce. Before Bomberman became the poster child for multiplayer chaos and accidental self-destruction, in 1983 he was just a lonely little robot stuck in an underground factory trying to bomb his way to freedom. This was a minimalist maze game where your only tool was a bomb and your only strategy was to hope it didn't bounce back. You dropped bombs to clear rocks, reveal exits, and occasionally obliterate enemies who wandered around like confused Roomba. The goal? Find the hidden door under a rock and escape to the next level. But here's the twist. Bomberman dreams of becoming human, and if you beat all 50 levels, he does, by turning into the protagonist from Load Runner. It's 1984, and imagine being trapped in a cave full of unstable rocks, deadly fireflies, and with a time pressure too. Your only goal is to grab diamonds like a greedy mole with a mortgage. Welcome to Boulder Dash, where the protagonist, Rockford, is basically Indiana Jones if he had a pixelated mullet and a pathological need to tunnel. You dig, you dodge, you scream internally as a boulder teeters above your head, and if you dawdle, the timer runs out and the cave explodes, because apparently spelunking is a timed sport. Boulder Dash is the original Oops, I Dug Too Much simulator. It's part puzzle, part panic attack, and all pixelated glory. Strapping into a pixelated rally car in 1985 that handles like an overstimulated shopping trolley, and being told to race across the wilderness with nothing but reflexes and a vague sense of direction. Welcome to Hyper Rally, a racing game where the only thing faster than your car is your descent into rage. You start ranked 680th, which is basically the game saying, we don't believe in you, but go ahead. All you need to do is climb the ranks by not crashing into trees, rocks, or your own poor decisions. The track is a never-ending stretch of chaos, where the road curves like a drunk, and the obstacles pop up like they're auditioning for a slapstick comedy. Miss a turn and you'll be launched into the bushes like a rejected stunt double. Hyper Rally is the kind of game that teaches you humility, one crash at a time. Space Invaders flash your angrier cousin. And this is what happens when alien bugs get tired of flying in polite rows and decide to dive bomb your spaceship like angry wasps at a picnic. You're the lone pilot at the bottom of the screen, armed with a laser and a dream, facing wave after wave of insectoid rage. The enemies arrive in formation like they're rehearsing for a Broadway show, then immediately break ranks to kamikaze your face. Some even use tractor beams to kidnap your spaceship because apparently intergalactic warfare includes ransom plots. Gallagher is 1981's gaming that's fast, furious and full of pixelated space drama. Konami's 1987 side-scrolling shoot-'em-up returns with more lasers, more rage and a difficulty curve that feels like it was designed by a sadist hopped up on Red Bull. You pilot the Vic Viper through beautifully pixelated space hell, dodging bullets, collecting power-ups, and wondering why upgrading your weapons just makes the enemies angrier. It's like Gradius went to military school and came back with a vendetta. But if you can beat this game without cheating, you're legally allowed to call yourself a space ninja and demand respect at any retro gaming convention. This 1987 top-down racer starts you off in a stock car that handles like a shopping trolley with a grudge. But win enough races and voila, you're suddenly in an F1 car doing 300 km an hour on tracks that look like someone spilled spaghetti on graph paper. There are 6 race types: stock, rally, F3, F3000, endurance and F1. Basically the full evolution from Dad's weekend car to NASA rocket with wheels. It's got charm, challenge, and the kind of music that makes you feel like you're winning even when you're spinning out. And if you can beat all 16 F1 tracks, you can be proud to shout, "I am speed," at passing pigeons. In 1984, before Bub and Bob blew bubbles, Chack'n was lobbing bombs and chasing hearts like a yellow marshmallow on stilts. You play as a leg-extending creature who walks on ceilings as gravity is a suggestion. You throw bombs to rescue hearts because romance is war. And to add some existential dread, the timer is an enemy moving a boulder across the screen to seal the exit. This game is charming, chaotic, and harder than it looks. Every level feels like a breakup, confusing, explosive, and full of emotional baggage. Before Temple Run was even thought of, 1986 saw the high-speed fish-fueled quest to cure penguin flu. A classic game starring Penta, a heroic penguin on a desperate mission to save his princess from a mysterious illness. The cure? A golden apple. I mean, why not? So, off he waddles across 24 deadly stages, dodging monsters, jumping cracks, and collecting fish like he's prepping for a sushi apocalypse. With multiple endings depending on how fast you flap through chaos, this is a fast, frantic and surprisingly emotional playthrough, and our hero does this in style, wearing a tux. Penguin Adventure is the only game where a fish-powered penguin outruns death to deliver fruit-based medicine, and it's glorious. So that's my top 10 games for the MSX. There are so many more great games for this system, but this is my personal selection. Please let me know in the comments below if you've played these games or if you'd swap any of them out for something else. And with that, thanks for watching and we hope you'll join us in the next one. Bye for now.